getting benefits, or maybe you're meticulously planning for retirement, or hey, maybe you're just curious about how this vital program is evolving.
Uh,
There is definitely a lot for us to unpack today.
for sure.
Get ready for some surprising facts, I think,
Mm.
and some really crucial takeaways that could directly affect you and your financial future.
Let's jump in.
Okay, let's unpack this first big one.
Yeah.
Imagine your monthly Social Security check, right? It arrives, and you see a new number
Right.
for millions. That's exactly what's happening with this cost of living adjustment, the COLA, for 2025. But I guess the big question is that increase really keeping pace with your actual expenses?
That's a great way to frame it, Paul, because it's what everyone wants to know. The Social Security Administration, the SSA, they announce this every October.
Right.
And for 2025, it's set at a 2.5% increase to monthly benefits.
Okay, 2.5%.
Yep. And the whole point, the core purpose, is supposed to be helping benefits keep pace with inflation.
Supposed to be.
Well, yeah. It's calculated by the Bureau of Labor Statistics using a specific measure, the CPI-W Consumer Price Index for urban wage earners and clerical workers.
Okay.
Now, this adjustment, it's pretty far-reaching. It affects more than 72.5 million Social Security recipients. Huge number.
Wow, yeah.
So what does that mean for your pocket, practically? The average monthly benefit for, say, all retired workers, it's projected to go up from $1,927 to $1,976 in 2025.
So about $50 extra on average.
Roughly, yeah. But here's that really important nuance you hinted at that a lot of sources point out. While the CLI aims to adjust for inflation,
Yeah.
the reality for many retirees is that this calculation, based on the CPI-W, it often doesn't fully capture their specific inflation experience.
Like healthcare costs, maybe.
Exactly. Things like healthcare, housing costs that hit seniors harder sometimes. So that 2.5% increase, it might not always feel like a 2.5% boost in your actual purchasing power.
Because it's based on, what did you call it, a weird bucket of things.
Yeah, some sources describe it that way. It's just, it might not perfectly reflect the cost of living for older Americans.
That's a really important distinction.
Yeah.
What the numbers say versus what people actually feel in their wallets.
Absolutely.
Okay, so speaking of financial planning, this next part gets really interesting, especially for anyone still working or maybe just getting close to retirement.
Mm-hmm.
We're talking about the new maximum payouts and those critical earning limits.
Mm-hmm.
What are the key shifts happening here?
Right. This is crucial for planning. There's opportunity, but also some rules you've got to know. So first, the maximum monthly payout.
Okay.
For someone retiring at their full retirement age, or FRA, in 2025, the max payout is going up pretty significantly. It'll be $4,018 per month.
Over $4,000. That's the absolute max.
That's the highest possible benefit if you retire exactly at your FRA.
Mhm.
And it's a good reminder, like claiming benefits before your FRA.
Which is 67 for most people now, right?
Yeah, 67 for anyone born in 1960 or later. If you claim early, you get a permanently reduced payout. Less each month, forever.
Ouch. Okay.
But on the flip side, if you can wait, if you have that flexibility, you can actually boost your benefit.
How does that work?
Yeah. You earn what they call delayed retirement credits. So basically, for every year you wait past your FRA up until you hit age 70,
Uh-huh.
you earn an extra 8% on your benefit per year.
8% per year. That adds up.
It really does. It's a powerful way to increase your lifetime income, if you can afford to put off claiming those benefits.
Okay, makes sense. Now, those earning limits you mentioned, those sound really important if you're working while getting Social Security.
Absolutely critical if you plan to work and collect benefits before your full retirement age. Think of them like a financial ramp, maybe.
Okay.
So for 2025, if you're under your FRA, that earnings limit is going up. It was $22,320 in 2024. Now it's $23,400 for 2025.
23.4. And what happens if you earn more than that?
Well, the rule is pretty strict. For every $2 you earn over that $23,400 limit, they'll deduct $1 from your Social Security payment.
Okay, $1 withheld for every $2 over.
Exactly. Now, there's a different limit, a higher one, for the specific year you actually reach your full retirement age.
Ah, okay.
In 2025, that limit is $62,160. That's up from about $59,000 in 2024.
62,000. Big jump.
It is, and the rule is a bit gentler here. They reduce your benefits by $1 for every $3 you earn over that limit. But, and this is key, it only applies to the months before you actually hit your FRA within that year.
Okay, so just for part of the year, potentially.
Right, and the really good news, once you reach your full retirement age, poof, These limits completely disappear.
Gone.
Gone. You can work as much as you want, earn whatever you want, and your Social Security benefits won't be reduced at all.
So it really is like a graduated system kind of easing you out of full-time work, maybe.
That seems to be the idea, yeah.
Those earning limits are definitely vital info for anyone navigating that transition. Okay, so beyond what you receive, what about how the whole system is funded? How do we qualify? And how do these changes affect other benefits like disability or Medicare?
Great questions, because yeah, these change and ripple through the whole program's foundation. First off, funding. The maximum amount of your earnings that are subject to the Social Security tax, that's going up.
Meaning higher earners pay more in.
Exactly. In 2024, the cap was $168,600. For 2025, it increases to $176,100.
Okay. But the tax rate itself isn't changing.
Nope, that stays the same. Still 6.2% for employees and 12.4% if you're self-employed.
Got it. In qualifying, how does that work again?
To qualify for benefits, you need to earn what they call credits over your working life. You generally need at least 40 credits.
40 credits. And you can earn up to 4 per year.
That's right, maximum of 4 a year. And the amount of money you need to earn to get 1 credit is also going up slightly. In 2025, it'll be $8,810 in earnings for a single credit.
So you need to work and earn enough over time.
Precisely. It ensures you've contributed sufficiently. Now, for disability benefits, SSDI.
Right. Social Security Disability Insurance.
Yeah. Recipients there will also see that same 2.5% NEOA increase in 2025. So the average monthly benefit for disabled workers, it's projected to go up to about $580 in 2025. That's up from $542.
Okay.
And if you're a disabled worker with a spouse and kids, the average can be quite a bit higher, around $2,826 per month in 2025.
Wow.
There's also a specific monthly cap for blind workers set at $2,700 for 2025. We did see a slight difference in the numbers across sources for the overall average disability payment.
Oh.
Yeah, one source mentioned an average of $1,834.79 per month for all disability recipients in 2025. So just highlights, always check your own specific situation with the SSA.
Good point. Averages are just averages.
Exactly. Then there's Supplemental Security Income, SSI. That's the program for low-income individuals. The maximum federal benefit there is increasing, too, to $967 a month in 2025, up from $943.
Okay. And Medicare. Any changes there tied to this?
Well, specifically for Medicare Part B premiums, the ones that cover doctor visits and outpatient care, the standard monthly premium for 2024 was $174.70, and the deductible was $240. The official 2025 numbers haven't been announced yet.
When do we usually find those out?
The Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services, CMS, they typically announce them by December. So those are still pending for 2025.
Okay. Something to watch for later in the year.
Definitely. One positive note, though, for many Medicare beneficiaries with Part D drug plans, those insulin costs are capped at $35 per month. That's a big help.
Yeah, that's significant. Okay, so it's clear these adjustments touch pretty much every corner of the Social Security system.
They really do.
But now, let's shift gears to something truly transformative, I think. It could impact millions of Americans. The Social Security Fairness Act.
Yes.
This feels like it's been a long, long time coming, especially for public sector workers and their families.
It really is monumental. A correction that's been, decades in the making. The Social Security Fairness Act, it's bipartisan legislation, and it completely repeals 2 old provisions: the windfall elimination provision, WEP, and the government pension offset, GPO.
WEP and GPO. Can you remind us what those did? Why was this change needed?
Sure. So imagine, say, a teacher dedicated 30 years to teaching in a state where they didn't pay into Social Security, so they earned a state pension instead.
Right.
But maybe that same teacher also worked summer jobs or part-time for 10 or 15 years in the private sector where they did pay Social Security taxes.
Right, so they earned some Social Security on the side.
Exactly. But WEP and GPO essentially said, hold on, because you have that teacher's pension, we're going to slash the Social Security benefits you earned from those other jobs, and GPO affected spousal or survivor benefits too.
So it penalized them for having the public pension.
That's how many saw it, yeah. Penalizing public service. So the core insight here, the big news, is that for nearly 3 million people, teachers, firefighters, police officers, other public servants and their families, these decades of, frankly, unfair benefit reductions, they're finally over.
Wow, 3 million people.
Approximately, yeah. They will now receive the full Social Security benefits they actually earned. It's a long overdue correction.
When did this officially happen?
President Biden signed the Social Security Fairness Act into law on January 5th, 2025.
Okay, this year.
Yep. And here's even better news. The payments are retroactive back to January 2024.
Retroactive, so they get back pay.
Exactly. They'll get compensated for the benefits they were unfairly denied over the past year or so. The SSA actually started processing these retroactive benefits and adjusting monthly payments in late February 2025.
That must be a huge undertaking for SSA.
Oh, enormous. Most affected folks should have received a one-time lump sum payment covering that retroactivity back to Jan 2024 by the end of March 2025, usually direct deposited.
And their regular monthly checks.
Their new higher monthly benefit amount typically started showing up in their April 2025 payment, which covers the benefit for March.
How's the progress going? Are they getting through everyone?
They're making really good headway. As of early June 2025, the SSA reported they'd processed about 91% of the cases.
91% already. That's fast.
It is. They've issued over $14.8 billion in retroactive payments to more than 2.2 million individuals. The SSA commissioner, Frank Bisignano, has really pushed staff to prioritize this, aiming to resolve all remaining sort of complex cases by July 1st.
Okay.
The expectation is that pretty much all beneficiary records should be fully updated by early November 2025.
That's incredible news for those affected. So if you're listening and you think you might be one of those people impacted by WEP or GPO, what should you actually do right now?
That's the key question, right?
Yeah.
So if you already filed for Social Security benefits in the past and your benefit was reduced because of WEP or GPO, you generally don't need to do anything. The SSA is supposed to be automatically adjusting your benefits and sending the retroactive pay. The main thing is just to make sure they have your current mailing address and bank account info.
How do you check that?
Best way is usually online through your My Social Security account on the SSA website.
Okay. What if you haven't filed for benefits yet, but you think WBP or GPO might have affected your potential